Once every 4.5 years or so, I get some exercise. The runner, once exclusively gendered, has since fled the binary, maybe because the binary was on fire. That reference was more relevant when I scripted this, but I'm sure there'll be another gender reveal forest fire again soon. Apples is just how this person stands. Openmojis has T-Rex limbs. If you're self-conscious about the weird way you run, at least you're not these emojis, particularly the old animated ones. You are gonna cause some miscommunication. In the binary, Apple's woman dressed specifically for running in every aspect apart from ponytail. Google for all of them. This is a rare humanoid emoji to not yet have gendered versions. Snowboarding is just too cool for that. Complete the aesthetic with camo combats, a dismissive wrist, or being the old woman from Worms. Have I done that one before? Samsung Snowboard is a specialist cigarette. HTCs could be a person in business suit levitating, and let's not mock AU's limbs until we've seen how far they've come from this pelvic thrust era. Android used to have naked snowboarding, which I cannot recommend. Some of these are going the exact other way and covering every pixel of skin. There's this thing I remember from an educational video game, and duck mouth, mouth of a duck. The best snowboarder emoji is WhatsApp's. The bowling could be the last time I get to do a bit on 3 holes looking like eyes and a mouth, which gives them an expressive reaction to their fates as pin aggressors. I'll reward the action shot from WhatsApp. The swim body is going to test my instincts about whether emojis should show environment materials, cause it's gotta be swimming through something. Most designers have this opaque block of azure that looks so soupy without a wider context. A lot of them seem to be reacting to their own body odor. Twitter's head has come off. They've revised this twice over and never noticed that. Those whose heads always come off look particularly wrong in the water. In Algae's design, we finally learn where humans come from. A little blue egg. HTCs is when there's someone to save from drowning, but you're not sure you want to touch someone so naked, and the old ones are often pretty ridiculous with these flesh aliens, a cryptid, and just lying face down on the carpet and having a breakdown, with or without tears. Apple have this approach where the water is represented by translucent ripple waves, and it's really nice, and it's what I'm going for. Female and male have the same deal, same outcome. For wet Polo, it's kind of the same thing, so you know what I'm gonna pick, but you don't yet know what I'm gonna say about the others. Google's, for example, has the hand over the middle net thing, which would definitely be illegal if water polo had a middle net thing and it were made of blue. It's like peering over a fence to throw something at you. Samsung's is caught mid-word and in an awkward pose combining defense, attack, and not knowing what's going on. Yeah, that's what sport feels like. Then I have to discuss whether emojis should have nipples, but I'm not going to. And you can see these guys go through puberty. Then there's this ridiculous facial expression that I can only guess is developed on the prior ridiculous facial expression. I'm glad this sidewise one covered up. Since Openmoji draws heads exactly like this, I can only presume that this person has removed a red person's head, which is how you score a polo point. Then there's this massive Jake Rivers of a person and their weird arms, and they're not getting this. Apple. The genders aren't much different, which is a relief because of the exhausting amount of content I'm getting out of this emoji. It's Apple and it's Apple. Notice how the Japanese designers are largely sitting out this episode, so I can't say something about it being an anime about water polo, which would definitely sell. The weightlifter works best when it looks like they're lifting weight, and Apple definitely communicate the struggle of the pointless pursuit, but these weights are so heavy that their arms have shortened. Then yeah, Google, Samsung, they're just doing pull-ups on a curtain rail. Surprisingly good poise from Microsoft, and there's a real range in the amount of struggle. Even crab people got a lift, I guess. Openmoji illustrate their general weakness, then there's the naked one and the cookie dough. This is one of those where Facebook is best, but only did male and female, so Apple for neutral, somehow. Cartwheeling is the full-body equivalent of the upside-down face emoji. It's when the super-deformed body shape you've chosen for your humanoids is really taken to the test, with Samsung showing the kind of cartwheel where you'd bang your head, or you could use your melted-off hair. We need something with enough implicit motion and character, and I'm not satisfied with any of these, but Joy Pixels will do. The distinctive thing about softball is how it's soft. It's also ball, but it's soft before it's ball, and Apple show the best. Humans aren't the only ones to get exercise. Sometimes horses go for a run, but with someone on the back of them to steal their credit.
Emoji Dexys is just barking around at the starting line. Twitters has a startled eye and is going to be frightened off the course. Several of these jockeys have their heads too low to see any of the race, so the horse will veer off. And then there are several with that awkward betweeny legs pose where they might as well be floating off. Though less of a gallop and more of a dressage trot, WhatsApp Slow and Steady wins this one because it's the best designed emoji!
One last form of exercise, the exercise book, which is the only place I've ever shown my working out. You just have to make sure it's not a greeting card or a brand you made up just for this. Putting note on a square in front of another square does not a notebook make, and Samsung's checker book is one of those eye-hurting patterns. We're going for WhatsApp. If you liked this video, big whoop, and I mean that sincerely.